Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I am covering something epic, issue 10, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan, and of course Uncanny Valley issue 2. I am a little bit under the weather right now. No doubt you'll probably hear the change in my voice in the video because of being a little bit under the weather. So I'll try to get through this the best I can, and of course without any coughs because of the bug or the flu bug that's going around right now. So let's get started as I move on to something epic, issue 10. So as we move into something epic, issue 10, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which we do get to see this cocoon being used within the story, and also in relation to the character of Noah, to which I give the cover a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we get to see what is happening sort of like in the dark parts of the epic universe, and also some of the people who are there. As we jump towards the middle of the story, we return to the characters of the deductive, who is our detective Duck, helping the character of Noah out while she is also searching through a library and some information, which is actually really quite interesting. We do actually get to see him in a diner as well a little bit before this. And last but not least, towards the end of the story, to which there seems to be a little bit of importance in relation to the story of Dante's Inferno. So, as we move into the rating of the art, I give the art a 7 out of 10, as I thought it was alright. It did draw to many of the aspects to which was actually seen in the cover, but overall, I think it could have been cleaned up a little bit more, but apart from that, it did work well with the story. Next is the area of the story itself. So first things first, do we get anything in this story time-wise or comic reference-wise? No, we don't, but that's neither here or there. Though I did think if it was going to include a comic book reference, I would have been able to add it here. Next is the locations that we get to see in the story. We see a diner and also the library. There is another place, but it's not mentioned where the other place is. The cast of characters consisting of the deductive, Noah, and I think it's Ron or Ren. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan, or the Foot Clan Untold Destiny. So as we move into the next issue of the TMNT Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into having a look at the internal part of the story as we have a look around the beginning, middle and end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story takes place, we have Kiyoshi speaking with Karai, who is also giving a little bit more of a history around the area of the Foot Clan, and we learn a little bit about like some of the sort of, I guess, the earliest members and their names as well, and how some of them actually carry some of the same names of what we see in the future, or where this is taking place, such as Arukisaki. We have the characters of Daigo, Randall, Tadami, Masami, and some others as well. And we learned that pretty much around these first couple of pages. Moving towards the middle of the story, we see that Karai is actually learning a little bit more about her past, as also dealing with some of her own inner demons. And last but not least, we get, I guess, a form of, a meeting between past and present within Karai's life. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. First things first, do we get anything time-wise? No, we don't. Location? No, we don't. The cast of characters, pretty much the ones I mentioned before. So we have Kiyoshi, Rokusaki, Daigo, Tadami, Rado, Masai, and Rorish, I think it is. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7 out of 10. The story has sort of dropped a bit in quality, but this might be better off being told, being read as a graphic novel. Okay, so now it's time to move on to Tony Fleet's Uncanny Valley. So moving into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Sure enough, it does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. And also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we catch up with Oliver and his grandpa, who are hanging out at a bit of a diner. Of course, we do get to see Oliver's mum a little bit later on while she's talking to a cartoon crow. As we start to jump towards the middle of the story, we see that his grandpa is helping him, making it across, I guess, a gorge, basically walking on air, to which we get to see a little bit before this page. And they encounter some dingoes. In the US, it sounds a little bit wrong. And last but not least, we move towards the last page, to which we get to see the somewhat evil cartoonish kingdom entering the fray. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10, as it does actually keep to the context of the story, as also the covers of the story in its own right. Next is the area of the story itself. So first things first, do we get anything time-wise? No, we don't. Locations that we see in this, we see a diner. That's pretty much all, plus the big, huge gorge, wherever that was. The key cast of characters consisting of Oliver. Of course, we do get to see his mother later on, talking to a crow. Of course, his grandpa, and of course the dingo, and whoever these suspicious new villains are that are responsible for these acts that are taking place in regards to Oliver and his family. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.